us your county and your ethnicity.
Thank you, Honorable CJ. My county is Mandera, and my ethnicity is Somali.
Very well. You know why we ask this very intrusive question?
Yes, Honorable CJ, yes.
Yes, why? Kenyans would like to know why.
It's because of diversity.
Okay, diversity and inclusion and regional balance, which are constitutional imperatives. Very well. Now we'll start. And I want you to tell us who is Justice Warsame, and why do you think you fit this job of Supreme Court judge? When giving us that introduction, we want you to tell us what particular experience you're bringing to this court, skills, knowledge, and we want you to locate that to the jurisdictions that are given to the Supreme Court by the Constitution. If you tell us what experience you have, tell us how it will help you in interpreting and applying the Constitution, in dealing with the matters that come before that court, on general public importance, on advisory opinion, and other jurisdictions. We want you to relate your experience to the work that is going to face you if you are successful as a judge of the Supreme Court.
Thank you, Honorable CJ. My name is, as I stated in my documents, Mohamed Warsame. I'm a judge of appeal. Currently, I'm stationed in Nairobi from 1st of April. What do I bring? I bring over 32 years of legal experience, which I acquired through advocacy, through the judiciary, as a judge of appeal, and as a court of appeal judge. What are the distinct things which I bring, which will help the Supreme Court? CJ, I bring 5 things on the table. The first thing which I bring is jurisprudential leadership. I have been in the judiciary for over 22 years. I have been a jurisprudential leader as a high court judge and as a court of appeal judge. My jurisprudence has gone all over the country, has gone all over the Commonwealth countries, and one of the key requirements of the Supreme Court is the jurisprudential leadership in terms of the judiciary and in terms of the country. It is the Supreme Court that leads the country in the right direction. So what I bring is that jurisprudential leadership to help the court, because I have dealt with all spheres of the law, both criminal, civil, judicial review. I am the first presiding judge of the Judicial Review Division under the current Constitution. So I was the first person to interact with the current Constitution. Secondly, in that area, when the issue of the recruitment and the appointment of the Supreme Court judges came into question, I was the presiding judge who dealt with that issue in the first instance. Secondly, I was appointed to be the presiding judge in a 3-judge bench, which made that landmark decision. Secondly, CJ, what I bring also is institutional leadership. Institutional leadership in terms that I have been a leader in the High Court, in the Court of Appeal, and also a commissioner for 10 years. Leadership of the judiciary is anchored, or is the home of the leadership of the judiciary is the Supreme Court. The Chief Justice is the leader of the judiciary, both administrative and judicial. Secondly, the Supreme Court is also the leader of the judiciary in terms of the leadership, because all the judges of the Supreme Court are members of the judiciary leadership. So what do I bring? I bring the inside-outside perspective of the judiciary, and that will help the court navigate its leadership position as an institution. What that means, I have been a commissioner for 10 years, chairman of the HR for 7 years. I have interacted with the members of the public. I have gone around the country. I know what the Wanjiku needs. What are they expecting from the court? What are they expecting from the judiciary? In essence, what are they expecting from the Supreme Court? They want direction. They want leadership in terms of the resolution of their matters. Therefore, I bring both inside perspective and outside perspective. I know what the Wanjiku needs in terms of how they want the court to lead their affairs. So I bring that on board. The third issue, which is fundamental and which I bring an impeccable record of integrity, which is the hallmark of the leadership of the judiciary and the Supreme Court. We need a court where its record is impeccable in terms of integrity. So I bring that on record, and my record in terms of my integrity is very clear. I have never, in my life as a judge for over 22 years, come into a question where my actions were questioned in terms of my integrity. Therefore, that is a quality which I will bring to the Supreme Court in terms of case resolution. I want, if the issue of corruption is eliminated in the judiciary, that will promote the image and the confidence of Kenyan people in the judiciary. That is one of the pillars, because the Supreme Court sits at the apex. If that issue is led from the Supreme Court, I think the issue of corruption or integrity in terms of this country's expectation will no longer be there. So in order to bring confidence and enhance the confidence of the judiciary and the image of the judiciary, I bring integrity on the table. The fourth issue which I bring is productivity. CJ, I have worked in Kisumu, I have worked in Embu, I have worked in the Milimani Commercial Court, I have worked in the Criminal Division, and I have worked even in the Land Division, and as a JR presiding judge, who was also in charge of the constitutional revision. And one issue which the people of this country want is productivity. They want prompt and efficient resolution of their cases. And that is one issue which I've always put first and foremost in the discharge of my duties as a judge. CJ, I have been, for the last 2 years, I have been the presiding judge of Nakuru. And when I went there, I said, this is how we will work for the people of this country and the people of Nakuru and Eldoret. As a presiding judge of Nakuru, CJ, I was in charge of almost 14 counties. In those 14 counties, there are various disputes. So when I went there, I said to the judges who are working with me, if it is a single judge, we must deliver the ruling on the same day. If it is 5.2b application, we must deliver it within 14 days. And the judgment, we must deliver it in 2 months. We have never failed. For the period of 2 years, I have been there. So that is a pillar. I want to take it to the Supreme Court, such that if that is cascaded to the Court of Appeal, to the High Court, and to the magistracy, we will all be great ambassadors for the people of this country and will improve the image and the confidence of the judiciary. Mm-hmm. The point is, if the issue of productivity is solved, we will be all good ambassadors of the Chief Justice. Mm-hmm. So that is an item which I bring. Lastly, and this is also very fundamental. The Supreme Court is a court that addresses the needs of all Kenyans from all parts of this country. There is a lot of burden and responsibility on the shoulders of the Supreme Court. So what do I bring? I bring diversity. I bring the other eye, the other ear, that can listen to the minorities, marginalized communities, wherever they are. And I will bring the perspective of the minorities and the marginalized community and the diversity. And that is one issue which is so fundamental in the discharge of the duties of the Supreme Court. And as a judiciary, if the issue of diversity is resolved, then the image of the judiciary will also be resolved completely. So CJ, with those 5 issues, if given the opportunity.
Six.
Yes, six pillars.
Yeah.
I will serve with humility. I will serve with distinction and dedication.
Very well. So we are moving